Before the next beginning, an interlude. A moment to find ourselves at the same place in the pattern. From the American Heritage Dictionary, administer. To have charge of, to give or apply as a remedy, to mete out, to dispense, to depose, to impose, offer, or tender, to manage as an administrator, to minister. With administering writing, to take charge of writing, to apply writing as a remedy, to dispense writing as justice, to depose writing, to impose, offer, or tender writing, to minister writing, to practice, to be, to weave a series of perplexing events into some stories, some suspicions, to consider writing as.
I really did want to host the conference here because I think it's a beautiful site.
This meeting especially is as much about Alaska.
Yeah, I loved it was going to be in Anchorage. I'd never been up here, and the dorms were a great idea.
Well, I've always liked the outings, because that's a chance to look at what there is in that place. Well, I think the first thing is always friendship. I look forward to WPA primarily because it's a way of seeing old friends or new friends and learning about what people are doing in other places.
The great thing about the WPA conference for me, more so than any, and I won't name the other conferences, is that there is a great sense of community and conversation. That after every panel session, people are talking, that the conversations go on, and there's actually, by the end of the conference, a really strong sense of what we did at this conference. Here, there's a conversation that gets started, issues get picked up, things get discussed, and I really like the follow-through on that a lot.
I've been an administrator for almost 40 years now, from director of first year English to department chair to communication across the curriculum. It's been a part of my life, and I've always seen it as an integral part of teaching and research and administration. This is a convention in which I can feel that integration. Some people would say administration is something you got to do, and you do your 3-year term and you get out of it as quick as you can. I'm someone that's spent my professional life working with it, and this organization is my home.
What's great about it is that it's changed a lot, but it has maintained a lot of its core values, and that's one of the things I love about it. It's like home, even more than 4Cs for me. Coming to WPA has been like coming home.
The reason a publisher would come to WPA and working in composition is that these are the people who make policy issues, and it's not just about pedagogy, it's not just about textbooks, it's about theory.
I come for professional reasons, I come for personal reasons, I come for institutional reasons, because I bring whatever it is that I learn here back to my home. Kind of learn a lot, It's I think one of the things that makes people smarter is having some idea of what's going on around the country.
It's a big family, but on the sunny side of family.
when I was a brand new WPA back then. I met some folks at the conference who are still coming as well, but had published and were already active in the field and so forth, and they were so receptive to my ideas, invited me to be on a panel with them at MLA. I mean, I was so welcomed by this particular group of people.
It's a good place to present. I often find that I can present work in progress and work where I really want professional feedback without the apparatus of the review system before I'm working on something that I want to take further. And besides, you can't miss a laugh like that. Yeah. So I have to be here. I have to be here for that.
Well, one of the most interesting conferences was when we teamed up with the ADE and went to Swarthmore. And it wasn't particularly a successful conference, but it was memorable in many ways, because one of the things I remember is that all the ADE people were in one dorm, and all the WPA people were in another dorm. And all the ADE people had, like air conditioners and color TVs, and all the WPA people were in dorms that didn't have hot water. They didn't seem to. There were no air conditioning. You couldn't get anything to eat or drink. I mean, it just seemed like we were completely two separate conferences. We've talked a lot about that. We tried that twice. We tried twice with ADE, and I think you'd think would be a natural relationship between department chairs and WPAs, but it did not. The cultures were very different.
I think it was at Purdue where Chuck Schuster gave a plenary on cautionary predictions about where writing and writing curricula were going. It was certainly very interesting to hear about and to watch play out. I mean, these predictions were quite accurate.
They took it to a WPA. I believe that one was in Milwaukee. I missed the meeting. Then the next year there was another meeting. It was at University of Arizona. Then the next year there was another meeting. Then there was another meeting, and finally we had a vote on it and it was passed. And it was the outcome statement itself that finally got me involved in attending the meeting.
I happen to think that Gene Gunner's talk in Charlotte was a landmark WPA talk. I think it was phenomenal.
I remember Ira Shore's report on Chris Anson. That was my first WPA. That was the one in Michigan Tech. It was really striking, full of ironies and complexities and all kinds of stuff.
Whatever year it was in Tucson, Teresa Enos was the president of WPA at the time, the conference chair, and apparently the local organizer as well. She introduced that breakout discussion format of having people get into groups and talk about what the speaker had said. That was really important to me at the time because I got to be in a group with people that I looked up to. That was the point at which I developed a voice, a professional voice.
The Council's Award for Best Article in the WPA Journal, 2003-2004. The award goes posthumously to Candace Spiegelman, late of Penn State University Berks, for her article Politics, Rhetoric, and Service Learning, which appeared in the fall 2004 issue.
In short, I believe that attending to the writing WPAs will illuminate not only important practices in that work, but also work to address some of the contradictions that shape the activity systems of the field.
The things that get talked about here are going to certainly influence what I'm writing over the next year.
I think WPA, I don't know if it aspires to be this, but I think it could be kind of a laboratory, if you will, for not just best practice, but new practice.
I hope you had a good time. I've enjoyed the conference. I'm glad we had great weather. I had nothing to do with it, but I'm glad. And I would even like to do this again, I think.
Conference is a sort of moment in time, and it's ephemeral, and there's nothing but the institution wherever you're housing something, and then all of a sudden there's a new site that inhabits the physical site. That's the conference, and that's the context. And then that begins to change as people leave, and then a day later, there's all that's left, if there's anything left at all, is something you might think of as a spirit trace.
So what does this have to do with writing?